Well, it is Friday, March 27th, and to say that it is interesting times in our country right now would be an understatement with the quarantining and the COVID pandemic that we have going on. And if you've listened to BTL, you know, Mark and I have talked about how best to handle it as anglers, as Americans, with society, to keep ourselves and everyone else safe. But that being said, you know, there's no better way than to go fishing, kind of get out. So a lot of the tournaments have been canceled. My first two Bass Nations, the Central Open on Louisville has been postponed. I know it's just a small thing in the grand scheme of things, but as anglers, that's kind of our life and what we look forward to. So that being said, there are still some tournaments going on, and as you can see in the boat behind me, I got a lot of stuff going on. That is because the Podunkers Fishing League out of Oklahoma, which is a catch, weigh, release format, is still having a tournament on Grand tomorrow, and I was able to jump in on that. I originally wasn't going to fish it because I'd be getting ready for the Central Open on Louisville, but since that's not happening, you jump in and actually we'll be able to fish this entire tournament and not be around more than 5 people. That's from paying the entry fee in the mornings, the way that the tournament directors have it set up. I'm only going to have contact with Jacob, my co-angler for the day. This tournament is on Grand Lake of the Cherokees. It was 90 degrees yesterday, 80 degrees the day before. It's 80 degrees today on a Friday, and it's supposed to be 70 tomorrow. So the lake is about 5-6 feet high, so I'm thinking power fishing, flipping a fighting frog up there, spinner bait, chatter bait with that big bite bait swim on trailer on it. Moving baits target the fish should be up, should be moving, so I'm gonna have multiple flipping, multiple spinner bait, moving baits, maybe a little flat-sided crankbait, and it's all about covering water. It's every fish counts, over a pound, no practice for this one going into it, so it's all going to be about baits that can establish a pattern and then having multiple of those baits so that I'm not wasting my time after I catch one if I have to re-rig. So I got a total mess going on in the boat, so here we go. Flipping Sunline Shooter 22-pound test. You know, most of the Elite Series BPT FLW Tour guys who throw Sunline will tell you that when it comes to close quarter, kind of the shock hook set, flipping a jig, anything where you're setting the hook really hard, not a moving bait, that Shooter is the way to go. Then switch over to the Sniper for the moving baits or some of the tactical lines. This is true diameter stuff, so if you look at the diameters of the line, they're Sunline's diameters will be true diameters out of Japan as opposed to some, so you can get away with actually some heavier pound test and still have the diameter of a lower pound test in a lot of other brands. But Shooter 22 for the flipping stuff. So everybody stores their plastics a little differently. If you watched Brad Hallman's YouTube video where we went to the Big Bite Baits factory over there by Eufaula Lake in Alabama, you'll see that I got a bunch of bulk plastics from Big Bite, which means they didn't come like in a pack with 8 to 10 in a pack. Actually just came in a kind of like a Ziploc style bag with the handle. So that's very critical because I don't care what type of plastic it is, especially freshly poured plastic, you're gonna have that kind of wonky pincher or something on those baits. Here's the way I combat this. When you're storing plastics that don't come in a, I guess for lack of a better term, like a bubble wrap or something where it's not, I like to really stack my baits in there. I pack the baits in tight, just like that. So when it's closed, you can move it around, you can bounce it. Then when you open it back up, all those baits are perfect. You can see those tails are absolutely, holy cow, that is a giant wasp. It's that time of the year. As I use these baits, I will then replace those baits with more so it stays compact, it stays compressed. So this is my backup box of flipping baits from Big Bite, and it's just the deeper Plano box. And really, when you stack the baits, you'll be amazed at how many you can keep in there. But this will not be in the boat, and I'll just keep this in the house. But you can see I have each of the baits. I spent probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes on this box, getting each of the pinchers and claws lined out flat. So then when you store it, you're actually putting a little bit of pressure on it. When you put the top on, you lock it in place, and those baits aren't going anywhere. Any baits that did have little kind of pinchers that were kind of turned over just from pressure or anything, I put those baits on the bottom of the box, and then the weight of the baits on the top of the box over time will flatten out any kinks that are in the plastic on those bottom baits. So, you know, in less than a week, those baits will be absolutely perfect, still have that perfect fluttering action. Probably like 6 hours of work for one day tournament. One of the things you'll notice when Rojas designed this Fighting Frog is it has slits in the side and a groove in the belly of the bait, as well as a hook slot on top. And there's not much meat there to put like a straight shank flipping hook. That's because this is designed for what Rojas likes to throw, which is not a straight shank. It's an EWG Superline hook. I tie a Palomar for everything. Some people say don't tie a Palomar on fluorocarbon. When I start breaking fluorocarbon with a Palomar knot on hook sets regularly, then I will learn a new knot, not one where they all like twist it and swing it and then there's 3 tag ends. But you can see with that 4/0 Superline hook, when you go in the nose of the bait, the bait's gonna sit just like that when you go through. Right through the back, perfectly straight, text posed on that little hook pad, and then when the fish bites, that whole bait collapses back. 7.4 Denali lithium heavy action Fighting Frog. That's setup number 1 for Grand Lake tomorrow. All right, we're back. Better than ever. This thing was ugly. We're not getting there. We still got a lot to go. Got a couple spinner bait. Got the spinner bait. Chatterbait. Now I'm going with the black and blue jackhammer with that black and blue swim on. Went with the 18-pound test Dew Strike by Brett Height. It's actually a new chatterbait line out by Sunline, and I somehow managed to get while I was spooling it up, I got braid wrapped around the spool of the Dew Strike, so get that all cut out. Well, I'm still at it. About 3 or 4 hours later, got a menagerie of rods lined up. Some crankbaits, a trap, the A-rig. Hopefully I won't have to use that. I wonder if everybody spends this much time. I mean, I'm just very... It feels like the more I organize, the more disorganized I get after every day of fishing. Working on some small crankbaits now, little 1.0 that I'm throwing on. This is the Denali Lithium Multi-Spin. It's a 7.4 medium heavy rod, but Jeff Crete designed that, and there's no other way. It's a badass rod for you know, like a shad wrap, a small crankbait, tube, snapping a tube offshore, floating worm, stuff like that. So I'm gonna get everything cleaned up. I am down to like 5 or 6 kokanees left. Kokanee is Glacier Fresh Beer from Canada. A couple of the boys from Canada who came to the Bassmaster Classic listened to BTL, heard that I really like kokanee, so they brought some kokanee to the Bassmaster Classic and hooked up. So enjoying a cold kokanee. Still have a mess going, and it kind of looks like it might rain a little bit, but we're getting there. Cool little treble hook trick, and guys have done videos on this on the past, but when you're changing them out and don't have the split rings, or the split ring is really small, you just get that original treble hook and just get it started in the split ring like you're taking it off, but it kind of opens up the split ring just like that. Then all you do is you take your new treble hook and you pop it in the split ring with the 2, and then when you rotate it, pops off the old treble, new one on. That's just a number 6 bronze round bend. Still hasn't rained yet. Shaggy the bull is not in a good mood. Well, I have managed to spend almost the entire day getting the boat ready to go for the first Podunkers of the year on Grand tomorrow. Lynx has a unique layout where you can kind of do some storage in this side, but I just put rods in here, hopefully rods that I won't have to really get into. Got a couple backup chatterbaits in there, my flipping stuff. You can kind of go into the center part here and see. So these are the game day rods that I'm going to start out with in the morning. That's the color KVD one on the Elite Series a couple years ago there on Grand. A trap, a couple different blades. Really hoping that the blade thing works. Got the painted blades. Michael Matee, the South Africa angler in the FLW Tour event last year on Grand, really kind of showed what the painted blades could do there on Grand. And then this is kind of a wild card. Got the buzzbait tied on. Going with what Andy Montgomery said about early season buzzbaiting on BTL. If you listen to that show, he said he had a period when that water's in the upper 50s a couple years ago that he smoked him on a buzzbait. He prefers the squeak over the clack, so I've gone with a squeaky buzzbait. And then he also said it was red, so I put a little Big Bite Baits, a little 3-inch swim bait on the back in red. So see if that'll get the job done, but hopefully it will be a spinner bait, flipping and trap deal. Remember, this is every fish counts, so you know, 3 1-pounders is equal to 1 3-pounder. So you get on the trap or a square bill or that little flat side bite and get as many fish as you can. So up here I listen to what people say on BTL way too much. Carl Jacobson, 10 killer, doused it in Bang. If you remember, Carl, big fan of the Bang. I got my can of Bang right here in case it turns into a flipping deal. Back compartment, these Lynx, the way they're set up, they really like the weight in the back of the boat for performance. So I've got a lot of heavier stuff in the back, some Ned rig, drop shot stuff, and then you can see how giant these compartments are. Now, I haven't opened this up since I went crappie fishing 2 days ago, but I made a mistake and I pumped out all the water before I took the crappie out. So there was a lot of crappie slime in the bottom of the live well. And I won't be using it tomorrow, but I'm probably gonna have to rinse this out. We'll see. Oh yeah. Ooh. Yeah, that's not good. Oh man. That was a mistake. Oh yeah. That's just about an inch of crappie slime in the bottom of the live well. I might actually get the hose and rinse that out. But it's kind of a look at the way things go up here. All right, you'll get to see a walkthrough of how everything goes down tomorrow, but I actually have a time that I can check in with the COVID-19 and everything that's going around with the coronavirus for making sure we practice our social distancing in this tournament. I'm serious about this too, like it's legit. So 6 boats at a time meet at a place, and then like mine's 7 o'clock, and then they have a 7:05, a 7:15, a 7:30, and they start at 6:30. So you go, pay your money, get your scales, go to where you want to on the lake, on Grand Lake, I'm gonna put in Duck Creek, and start fishing at 8. So that's how it rolls. I got some more stuff to organize. Like, how am I, it's kind of odd how you're never done. It seems the more you try to organize, the longer it seems to take.
All right, well, it is 5:04 in the morning and I am waiting for Jacob to get here. We got some wind. We have warm weather. It is 72 degrees right now. And we're going fishing. There's Jacob. Let's go. So it is 6:39 right now.
So what that means is we're sitting here for another 20 minutes because of all of the social distancing that we are attempting to do with this tournament. I have a 7 o'clock check-in, so they started at 6:30, so every 5 minutes 5 boats come in, check in, pay their entry fee, and then go to the ramp of their choice, which as you can see, all the boats are headed back. I think there's going to be 30 boats that are putting in at a ramp that maybe will hold 10 boats. It'll be very interesting to see how this goes down, but wait till 7, check in, then drive and put in, which I'm not really that worried about checking in right now and getting to the spot because you can't start fishing until 8. So not a big fan of the lightning, are you?
No.
You think that'll affect the bite this morning?
I think so, with them being shallow and lightning, never a good mix.
Most people suck when they can't with the camera like the first time. You're pretty good with it though, pretty natural.
Good.
Because you just gotta do like one take and roll with it, you know what I mean?
I'm a natural at everything.
All right, well we got about 10 minutes before this thing gets started. But I think we're gonna start out with the painted blade spinnerbait. So, ready to get this thing rolling. Wait about 10 minutes, start out at 8 to 10:30 is the first period. Then we got a break, and then another 2.5 hour period, then a 15-minute break, then another 2.5 hour period. I think these suckers are gonna chew today. 5 seconds. All right, here we go. We are 49 minutes into the day, have not had a bite yet. Very interesting. Started out shallow through the blade and a chatterbait, and then flipped around a little bit in an area that's pretty typically good in the spring and nothing. So obviously keep looking. In this format, it's not like you can just catch 5 at the end of the day. You got to continue to boom, 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 build on what you got. So we're going to keep looking. God, fishing can make you feel like you suck so easy. It's humbling. I mean, you think I've done anything wrong this morning?
No.
We got a fish. He's not a pound though.
You don't think so?
I'll put him on the scale. Scale 0.
Yep.
One 3. I'm on the board with the 1-3. Well, I'm on the board with the 1-3. That was a flipping fish. So maybe we'll get a couple more back here. I have a feeling that's not going to do me much good. Scale 0. $112. There's number 2. That's interesting. Iced honey bun wrapper on the crankbait. The key was the pause there before it loaded up. 8 to 10:30. There's a big one. That's a giant. Did that really just happen?
Keep that. That might be the only thing we win today. Zebco 33.
Well, that's the end of the first period. 2 fish for just shy of 3 pounds, so a pretty brutal first period. Have figured out though the water is cleaner, definitely back in the back half. Not an ideal start to the first period, but the cool thing about this format is you get to see what everyone else is doing. So we will see where we sit here. Hopefully not last.
I'm definitely in last because I haven't caught a fish, so struggle bus. It can only get better.
So you have your score sheet with my weights, and then I have a pin number on the MLF Now app. And then you just keep clicking refresh scores. And then you see where you are, and then as people click their scores in, you fall further and further into a pit of despair. Or, I mean, if you're smashing them, it's all good. So I'll give it 5 minutes and then check it again. So far, we've been not fishing for 10 minutes, and I'm sure some guys don't have service and stuff, but there's 16 guys out of like 35, 36 that have checked in. Got Kojak leading it with 10-10, and I am sitting in 8th, so dead center with 2 fish for 2 pounds 15 ounces. A lot of 2s and 1s, and guys have just caught 1 or 2. So second place is only 6 pounds. Not a total failure in the first period, but really haven't figured anything out. In these deals, you're always just looking for that one, aha, this is what I need to do, and roll with it. So we'll give her a shot. We got how much more time? 5 more minutes? 4 more minutes? $14 ounces. $112, that could be the clue that we needed. He might go. 1-3. 1-3. We are just smashing them today. All right, second period is coming to a close. We have about 10 minutes idling through a no wake zone. I have 3 more babies to add to it, and had a big one boil on my spinnerbait. Completely went slack, and I think he just ate the whole dang thing and didn't get a hook in him. So I felt him just for a split second. He's in about 2 foot of water, so everything, it seems that I'm trying to get a feel for what's going on. And then you roll with it, it changes. So I don't really know what to say right now. It is a real grind right now, which it shouldn't be. After the second period, I am sitting in 9th place with 7 pounds 3 ounces, and first is only 14.14, so I'm still in this thing. This is what I mean, the score's just updated. Now I'm down to 11. 14.14 still leading it though, so 7 pounds back. Alright, Duck was feeling pretty hopeless, so we made a little bit of a run over to Drowning. Of that on the last freaking cast of the day.
Pretty good.
Last freaking cast of the day. I mean, it's done, it's over with. And in the last freaking cast of the day, I finally catch one on the spinnerbait, and it's a good one. That's all she wrote. I didn't win. I caught multiple fish each period, and I caught my biggest fish of the day, my only good bite on the last cast.